So you want to be an artist and sell your work online, but you're a little bit worried about the whole fact that when you list your artwork online, it opens you up globally. Selling artwork online is hard enough as it is. The last thing you want is having someone express interest in your artwork from an international country and you have to say that you don't know how to ship. If this is you, then you've come to the right place. I'm a professional abstract artist living in downtown Toronto, Ontario, and I have been selling my work all over the world for the last decade. My channel here on YouTube is about sharing my knowledge on selling and marketing yourself as an artist, whether you are just starting your art career or are a part-time or full-time artist. And don't forget, if you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, thumbs up if you like the video, and comments down below. Now let's get started with today's topic. Let's start with the basics, packaging your artwork. I have a great video here. You can see that I am packaging a small painting. Now what I'm using is glassine paper. Glassine paper is kind of like parchment paper or some sort of a wax-based paper. I really don't know how it's made. I don't really care. That's really not the point of the video. It's acid-free. It's a paper that can be wrapped around your painting and not impact the quality or the surface of the painting. I wrap everything in glassine. I make sure it's all nice and sealed. There is acid-free tape that you can purchase as well, but none of the tape actually touches the painting, so I'm not really concerned about using acid-free tape. The next step that I do is I wrap everything in bubble wrap, and I use the big bubbles. I like the extra cushion that provides. And finally, the last step, once everything's been wrapped in glassine, bubble wrapped, I insert my card because it's always nice to get a little card or a postcard that has my story on it. I use these elbow protectors. This is the stuff that goes on furniture when you get it shipped from far distances that keep, things from getting banged. And they're quite sturdy. So I'm really using some force here. I did say in my last video up here, this shows the whole process. If you haven't already watched this video, I do suggest that you go back. I talk through it. I do give you some more tips in that video that could help you along. I have realized that you can cut this with a box cutter. You have to score it first, score, and then you can kind of really kind of jimmy it. But the fastest way is using a jigsaw, and then you can cut it real quick. Down below in my description, I will link all of the information. I get all of my supplies from Uline Canada. Unfortunately, I don't know what the equivalent is in the States, but any place that sells packing material, moving companies, they will have bubble wrap, they will have boxes for you. I'm sure there's a business in your area that sells packaging material. So that's the company that you're going to be Googling in your local area, packaging material, where to buy them. It does cost money. I'm not gonna lie, packaging stuff is not cheap. The other thing that I want you to know is in that video, I think I was packaging a painting that was 12 by 16. That is how I package all of my paintings, except for the really tiny ones. Like if the length of your painting, this band here, is not very long, then you don't really need to use this, like say on a 12 by 12 or a 10 by 10 or an 8 by 8, because the force that it would take to crack that frame on such a small surface area would be quite intense. I only use these for the larger ones. The reason I did do that in the video that you are watching here is because it was going to Australia, and also I knew that I was going to be making this video, and I wanted, not this video, but that video that you're seeing, so that you can see the process of how I package my paintings. It's a lot easier for me to show the demo on a smaller one opposed to a larger painting. So it's the same process. I do exactly the same steps. I wrap everything in glassine paper, I wrap everything in bubble wrap, and then I apply these corners to the edges. The second step is the boxes. I buy my boxes again from Uline, and I have all of that information down below in the description of this video. The boxes that I use are rated for some intense pressure, like 200 or 300 pound pressure for cardboard. That's a lot of pressure that box can take. They are expensive, but they work. It allows me to package my paintings much more quickly instead of having to wait, ordering a crate, or building it myself. So that's my tip for how you can package your painting. When it comes to shipping your artwork and knowing what shipping company to use, that's a whole different thing. So let's try and figure that out. I'm going to share with you what I use. Now, all of you need to remember that I am in Canada, but the thing is the products or the services that I'm using, some of them are global, so it will relate to you and hopefully it will help you. This is a 20 by 24, I think, painting. This size, I ship with Canada Post. Pretty much anything this size and down can be shipped with Canada Post. There are size restrictions with Canada Post, and I'm sure there would be with any other local carrier in your area. If you go to their webpage, it will show you the size. If not, just so that you don't have to go digging for all of this information. The trick is every shipping company or service online has a estimate and time tool that you can go in and enter your information to get an idea of how much it's going to cost for you to ship that painting. When I'm doing an estimate, this is what I did in the beginning. I don't have to do this now because there's a whole other thing. I'll talk about that near the end of the video. This is a 10 by 10 canvas. It has not been painted yet. But what I do, or what I did do, because it's not packaged yet, I just add 2 inches to the painting. That's the easiest thing for me to do. Actually, for a little one, it's probably more about 1 inch. And I have purchased ready-made boxes that are 11 by 11 inch with a 3 inch width. And it fits in perfectly. I probably could have a 2 inch, but getting a box with that depth is really complicated. So I go with the 3 inch depth. And now a larger painting this size, I'm gonna add 2 inches. So a 20 by 24 is now going to turn into a 22 by 26. So I give myself extra room for packaging material, because once you add the rubble wrap, once you add the bubble wrap and the edge protectors, it's going to expand the size perimeter of your painting. I don't know if perimeter is the right word. Anyway, really not the point of this video. So once you have that information, so let's say you're shipping the 10 by 10. You're gonna go 11 by 11 by 3 inches. You're gonna go on to Canada Post or the United States Postal System. The trick is that I want to share with you on how I set my prices. I picked the furthest state from where I am. So I'm in Ontario, Canada. I looked up the state of California and I did a couple of different prices to see how much it would generally cost me to ship to that area on certain sizes. And that's how I based North America. There are some exceptions. The outlying islands, like Puerto Rico and Hawaii, shipping methods are going to be a lot higher, but I'm not going to base my shipping on those, few little places there. And so really, there are some pieces where I am a bit over on shipping or I'm a bit under on shipping. And it all just gets absorbed into the business. I don't really worry about being $20 off here or $20 off there. It's just part of the package of selling paintings. Now, when it comes to international pieces, and how you price your artwork, that is a bit more complicated because there are so many different countries. Again, I did the same thing. I went on to Canada Post and I tried to figure out how much it would cost to send paintings to certain areas. I do have a reduced rate for shipping internationally, just because I'm so honored that somebody from so far away is willing to purchase one of my pieces. So I do kind of cost split that. I think I have my prices set for about $100 or $75. $75 for a small painting. It usually costs me about $150. But I want to share in that cost, and I think it's just a fair thing to do. They are buying my art or purchasing my art from such a far distance, and as a thank you, that's my thank you, is I have a reduced shipping costs for them. And so I have it set on my Shopify account, a staggered approach. How much the painting costs is how much you're going to get charged for shipping. And it's an interval. And so that's the easiest way. Any buyer now that comes to my website who puts a product into their cart and tries to check out, the shipping information will show up for them and they'll know how much it's going to cost to ship. Now for the US, I have that included in the cost. I absorb that cost. And that's another reason why I give international buyers overseas a reduction in price, is because I include my shipping and my prices for the US. My pieces are at a price point now that allows me to absorb the cost of shipping. And it just simplifies it for the buyer that they see one price. That's what they know they're paying, for those in North America anyway. I think the question that everybody really wants to know is, how do I ship the large painting? So many of you have asked this question. I'm represented by a gallery in Denmark, and Denmark's quite a distance. And I don't just ship one painting when I ship. I ship about 6 or 7 or 8 paintings at a time. Well, the easiest way to get that stuff shipped there is to take it off the stretcher bars. There's no way that economically that's going to work out for either me or the gallery. And also, the safety of the paintings is much better when they are rolled opposed to being stretched on a frame. So if you haven't watched this video here, you can see where I'm actually removing the canvas from the frame and I'm rolling them up. Remember that I'm painting with acrylic paints. I'm also using flexible molding paste, which allows the painting to be rolled. A painting being rolled is much safer than being, like, you can't just fold your painting. That's gonna damage your painting. You can't poke your painting, no folding. Rolling allows the canvas to stay in the safest position for travel. Now, as for the larger paintings that are shipped on the frame, Canada Post have size limitations. And so this is where you have to do some upfront work. I have started using FedEx. FedEx or UPS or DHL, all of those services are couriers and they all kind of work relatively the same way. But each one of their websites is going to have an estimate and rate calculator that you can go in and upload your information and find out how much it's going to cost to ship a certain piece. So it's really the same process. Do it by price point of your painting, because usually price point dictates kind of the size of your work, and then you can get an idea of how much that's going to cost to ship internationally or just out of state or out of province. If you are new to shipping online, you can contact any one of those suppliers or shipping couriering companies, and you can talk to a representative and get some advice about how to ship your work or how to use the invoice, the custom invoices that you will need to do. But the easiest way, honestly, until you learn how to do this on your own, is hire yourself a customs broker or a shipping broker. This is what they do on a regular basis. They take care of the paperwork for you. They make sure that from the point of your package being picked up and delivered to the person who purchased the artwork, that they are the ones tracking that package and making sure it goes through customs without any issue. So look up courier companies, look up customs brokers in your area and find one that you think will work for you. When I'm shipping the ones to Denmark, because I'm shipping such a high quantity, the last thing I want is for that package to get lost or for that package to be held up in customs. So I use a broker when I'm shipping that. I also use the broker when I'm shipping large pieces internationally that I want to make sure get there safe and sound. Because I've been shipping on my own for quite some time, I'm very comfortable doing the medium-sized pieces on my own and filling out my own customs paperwork. I hope that this video gives you some insight into the world of how to ship. Your best friend is the internet in trying to figure out what shipping companies are local to you that are going to give you the best price and rate. For me, it seems to be Canada Post, because I also have a business account, and the more I ship, the better of a discount I get. My larger ones that can't ship through Canada Post because of size, I ship through FedEx. I hope that you found this video helpful and that this gives you a little bit more insight into how you can ship your paintings around the world, increase your sales. So comments down below, thumbs up, and I will see you all next week. It's hot in here.